the total mechanical energy of a particle is zero, is its linear momentum necessarily zero? Is it necessarily non-zero? Yeah. So total mechanical energy of a particle is zero. Mechanical energy means what, beta? What do you mean by mechanical energy?
Sir, sum of kinetic energy and potential energy.
It's very good. So if sum of kinetic energy and potential energy is zero,
Yes,
is
sir.
it necessary that linear momentum will also be zero, or is it not necessarily that linear momentum is non-zero?
Sir,
So
linear momentum necessarily zero, sir.
necessarily zero. Okay.
Sir, because kinetic energy is zero, that means we can say body is not moving.
If kinetic energy is zero, body is not moving, so linear momentum is zero. That's fine. But they have given mechanical energy. Total mechanical energy of a particle is zero. So sum of potential energy and kinetic energy is zero. For example, let's say kinetic energy is some 40 joules and potential energy can be minus. Potential energy can be negative and positive. So potential energy is minus 40, then 40 minus 40, the sum of total mechanical energy is zero. But it may not be possible like linear momentum. Kinetic energy is there, so linear momentum will be there. Okay.
Sir,
So
but we cannot say necessarily no, sir. Sir,
yeah,
sometimes kinetic energy may be zero.
if kinetic energy is zero, then definitely
Yes,
linear
sir.
momentum should be zero. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But if kinetic energy is zero, potential energy will not be zero. Okay. Then total cannot be zero potential energy, and total mechanical energy may not be zero. We should not think like that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Your answer is correct whenever if they give only kinetic energy of the particle is zero. Then you can say that linear momentum is zero. Necessarily, compulsory, it should be zero. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
it is not necessarily zero actually. Okay. So it is necessarily non-zero. It is necessarily a non-zero. Linear momentum is not necessarily a zero if the total mechanical energy of a particle is zero. Okay. So that's what 11th answer. And next question, 12th. If the linear momentum of a particle is known, can you find its kinetic energy? And if the kinetic energy of the particle is known, can you find its linear momentum? So to answer this question, you should know the relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. What is the relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum? Do you know? Anyone know? Do you know? It's a famous equation. You might be knowing it. Kinetic energy and momentum relation. Okay, you know it, but you have forgotten. Let us say kinetic energy, which is equal to, what is the formula for kinetic energy?
Half mv square, sir.
Very good. Of
Half mv square.
mv square. Okay. So here I am doing one thing. Half mv square. So I am multiplying into m by m. I am multiplying into m and by m. Is it okay? So if I do that,
Sir.
it will be 1 by 2 of mv whole square. 1 by 2m into m into m square into v square is there, mv whole square. mv whole square. Okay. So mv is nothing but what, beta? Mass into velocity is what?
Velocity.
Mass
Mass into
into
velocity,
velocity.
sir, MV.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Momentum.
Mass into velocity, sir, MV means.
mass into velocity is what? What quantity?
Momentum, sir.
Yes, momentum. So I am replacing mv with momentum. So final answer will be p square by 2m. So kinetic energy and linear momentum relation is kinetic energy is equal to p square by 2m. So that is the relation. So now let us try to answer this question. If the linear momentum of a particle is known, can you find its kinetic energy? So please tell me, if I give you momentum value, can you find out kinetic energy? If I give you momentum value, yes, very good, Varshit. So if I know momentum value, I can find out kinetic energy by using the relation Ke is equal to p square by 2m. Okay. And if the kinetic energy of a particle is known, can you find out its linear momentum? So first part of the question, yes, we can find out. And second part of the question, if I give you kinetic energy value, can you find out the linear momentum? Sasra, Varshit, Rohit.
So we know momentum, no sir. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No. The next part of the question. First part of the question, momentum is known, kinetic energy can be found. The second part of the question, if the kinetic energy of the particle is known, can you find out linear momentum?
So we can use this only, same formula.
Yeah, same formula.
P is equals to under root 2mke, no?
Okay. Can you see
Sir,
my
yes.
annotations better? Can you see my annotations I am writing?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So P is equal to, according to uh, Sasra, P is equal to 2m into Ke. So formula
Yes, sir.
becomes 2m into Ke. So if I
Ke.
give Ke and m, you can find out the momentum. That is what you are telling. Okay?
So we can write Ke as half mv square, no?
It's okay. You can write, you can simplify. So you can do many things. You can do. So that again gives you the same. You don't have to do that. I will give directly kinetic energy. I will give mass. So you can find out momentum.
And
Is it correct? Or
yes,
is
sir.
it wrong?
Yes, sir. So correct
correct.
only, sir.
Yeah.
Correct only.
Sahasra, Varshit, Manisatvik answer is correct. We can find out the momentum. So, but the answer is wrong. Answer is wrong. Why?
Sir, you give mass and kinetic energy, no?
Yeah, I
So
have
then
given
it is
mass and kinetic.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir, momentum is a vector quantity and kinetic energy is a scalar quantity, sir.
very good. We can only find out the magnitude of the momentum, but not the direction of the momentum. So finally, it doesn't mean if you don't specify the direction for one particular uh, quantity, vector quantity, it doesn't make any sense. So you can only find out magnitude of the momentum, not the direction. So finally, we cannot find out the linear momentum. So that will be the answer. Next question. What can be said about the center of mass of a uniform hemisphere without making any calculation? Will its distance from the center be more than r by 2 or less than r by 2? So he is taking a hemisphere. Okay. And he is asking you to find the location of the center of mass. Will it be more than the r by 2 or will it be less than the r by 2? Please guess. The answer is less than r by 2, beta. Okay.
R by 2.
Less than r by 2, not more than r by 2, because the mass less than r by 2 within the region of mass are less than r by 2, the mass will be more. So that's why the center of mass will lie less than r by 2 only. Okay. So the center of mass location is near to the heavier mass. Okay. So heavier mass is there within less than r by 2. So that's why it will be near to the, it will be less than r by 2 only. Okay. Yeah, the next question. You are holding a cage containing a bird. You are holding a cage containing a bird. Let me show that picture also. You are holding a cage containing a bird. Do you have to make less effort if the bird flies from its position in the cage and manages to stay in the middle without touching the walls of the cage? Okay. So what do you say?
Sir, can you explain the question?
You are holding a cage. This is the cage. Okay. Can you see my diagram? Image.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, within the cage there is a bird, and the bird is not touching the walls of the cage. It is just flying here. Okay. It is just like at rest only, but it is flipping off its wings, and it is not touching, or it is not taking the support of these walls of the cage. And so in that case, do you have to make less effort if the bird flies from its position? So bird is there and it is not touching the walls of the cage, and it is flying away from the cage. In that case, so do you have to make less effort for holding? You are holding it actually, and after some time the bird like flies. So what do you say? Do you require less effort or more effort or same effort? Is there any change in effort to hold the cage?
Sir, more effort, sir.
More effort. Why? Why? See, simple question this is. You are holding a cage and the bird runs away from the cage. So what do you feel? The cage is heavier, or the cage is same weight, or the cage is lighter, or do you require more force to hold the cage, or do you require less force to hold the cage, or do you require the same force to hold the cage? So that is the question. In a general sense, you think.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, more effect will need when it is closed. The cage is closed, sir.
I didn't go to next part of the question. I just asked up to this only. Okay. Next part of the question we are not discussing it. Just first part. Okay. So let us see. See, actually, what we feel that it is not touching the walls, so we will not feel the weight of the bird. But actually, what is happening when it is flying? When it is flying, when it's flying, the below air is pushed downwards, which is equal to the weight of the bird. So even if the bird is there, our bird is not there. All bird is flying off. If the bird is there, the same amount of force is required to hold. And if the bird is flying, then what happens? The below the bird, the air is pushed downwards, which is equal to the weight of the bird. So you will have to apply the same effort. So it will not change. It will not be less or it will not be more. Okay. We will think that weight is less, so we require less effort. But actually what is happening? The weight of the bird is replaced by the pressure or the force that is transmitted to your air particles. So we will feel the same weight and we require the same effort to hold it. Okay. And does it make a difference whether the cage is completely closed or it has rods to let the air pass? Yeah, when the cage is completely closed, what happens? No air will flow, no air will flow, then there is a difference. Okay. And at that time, you will feel same effort only. You have to keep. And if it has rods to let air pass, okay, if the rods are there to let the air pass, then the below air, when it is flying off, it will move away from the cage. It will move away from the cage. So you require less effort in that case if it has rods, because air will flow outside. Okay. Next question. A fat person is standing on a light plank floated on a calm lake. The person walks from one end to other on the plank. His friend sitting on the shore watches him, okay, and finds that the person hardly moves any distance because the plank moves backwards for the same distance as the person moves on the plank. Explain. So on the lake, there is a light plank, and the plank is just like which is a floating body. So on the plank, a fat person is there, and plank is very light. Okay, and he is walking on the plank from one side to one end to other end. And this total scenario is observed by some other person who is outside the lake. Okay, so the person who is observing he is thinking that the person is hardly moving at any distance, because person is moving forward and Planck is moving backward. So that's why he will feel that the person is at rest only. But with respect to the chapter which we are studying, can you explain this? How, why he is feeling like he is not moving at all? Why he is feeling, the person who is observing, in the context of this chapter? Okay, Sahasra answer is Planck is recoiling backwards as the man is moving frontwards. Okay, that is correct. Okay, but why we are feeling the man is not moving? In context of center of mass, can you tell? Like in related to center of mass concept, can you just correlate these two, this question and center of mass? Very, very, very important. Imagine, Sushma, you can try. Sushma, Akhil, Om.
Sir, center of mass remains constant.
Yes, very good, excellent. So center of mass of the system is constant. Why? Because a fat person is there and light Planck. This total, if you combine as a system, and the center of mass will be near to the heavier mass, that is fat person, and fat person's center of mass is constant. So why he is observing the person is at rest means the center of position of center of mass is constant. So that is the answer, appropriate answer. That is why he is feeling the person is hardly moving. The observer is feeling the person is hardly moving. Okay. Next question, a high jumper successfully clears the bar. Is it possible that his center of mass crossed the bar from below it? Try it with appropriate figure. High jumper successfully, so you just see this diagram. Can you see this diagram? So this is the appropriate figure, we can say. So when a high jumper is clears high jumper clears, then if you see center of mass crossed the bar from below it. Yeah, center of mass will be here only. See this point, block spot, because here some mass is there, here some mass is there. So center of mass will be somewhere here, and it is below the bar, below the bar. Okay. So it is possible. So her center of mass is below the bar. It is possible. Yeah. So 16th answer is a high jumper successfully clears. Then is it possible that his center of mass crossed the bar from below it? Yes, it is possible. Okay. And this is the appropriate figure. The next question. In general, you can answer this. Which of the two persons shown in figure is more likely to fall down? And which external force is responsible for his falling down? So, let us say the person here is A and the person here is B. So, who will fall down? When the person A or B, who will fall down?
Person
You
B,
follow, sir.
Yeah. The person B will fall.
B will fall down,
So
sir.
B will fall down, sir.
Yes, very good.
B. So pseudo force is backward direction.
Yes, very good. So it is a non-inertial frame. It comes under non-inertial frame. Whenever the body is moving with some acceleration, it comes under non-inertial frame. So it is moving with respect to Earth with some other acceleration. So it is a non-inertial frame. So in non-inertial frame, pseudo force is there. So pseudo force is responsible for the person who is falling down, and that acts leftwards. Next question. Suppose we define a quantity linear momentum as is mass into speed. It's not mass into velocity, mass into speed. If we define, then the linear momentum of a system of particles is the sum of linear momentum of the individual particles. Can we state a principle of conservation of linear momentum as linear momentum of a system remains constant if no external force acts on it? If you change the formula, linear momentum as mass into speed, and no external force is there, and do you say that law of conservation of momentum will be valid? Will it be valid? Mass into speed. Speed is a scalar quantity, velocity is a vector quantity. Linear momentum or momentum, both are same only. Okay. Oh, some printing mistake actually here. Linear momentum, that is.
Sir, you kept a P.
Linear momentum or momentum, both are same. I am not printing mistake, I think.
Sir,
So they have said,
they gave moment.
they have said purposefully that you are changing the definition, no? So that is why I think they have changed the quantity name also. Okay, I think not. It is not a printing mistake. It will be linear momentum.
Sir, in book they gave but M momentum.
Momentum.
Yes, sir.
Which book?
Sir, in H. Verma book only, sir.
Normal sense, linear momentum only we have to say beta. Mass into velocity means linear momentum only. Okay. But since they are changing the definition formula mass into speed, so that's why he has defined another term, because we should not give the wrong statements. No, that's why I think H.C. Verma has given in this. Anisatvik, hope you are clear. It can be
Yes, I understood.
yeah, it can be momentum or some other, the whatever you say, according to you also some other word can be taken. That's not an issue.
Okay, sir.
So now mass into speed if you consider, and no external force is also there, do you think law of conservation of linear momentum is applicable or not? Guess the answer, beta. Guess the answer. At least Try 1 or 2 sentences. Even if you are wrong also, no problem.
But not necessary, sir, I think.
Yeah. Why?
So just is it, sir.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So answer is no beta. Because speed is a scalar quantity. So in the case of velocity, what we say, in the case of velocity or that velocities, we define the direction also. We define the direction. For example, when you are writing some collision related problem like m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to, or some other, actually if they are moving in opposite direction, na, we say m1 u1 minus m2 u2 is equal to m1 u1 minus m2 u2, which is equal to m1 v1 minus m2 v2. This is the conservation of linear law of conservation of momentum principle when we apply when the two bodies are moving opposite each other. But this negative direction, whatever we are considering now, in the case of speed, we cannot consider. So in that case, the initial momentum and final momentum may not be equal. May not be equal. Okay. So it is not necessary. Okay. So sometimes what happens? M1, U1, initially both the masses will move in the same direction, and after the collision, the masses may move in opposite direction. So m1 v1 minus m2 v2. Okay. So this can also be possible. Can you see my annotations which I am writing down? You can see it, no? Huh?
Can see.
Yeah, okay, fine. So that is what. So initially if the bodies may move in the same direction,
Sir,
at that time, yeah. Manisatri.
so your annotation became blurred, sir.
Yeah, then what I will do, I will,
So you share again, sir.
yeah, now can you see other page? Other page.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this first equation, na? First equation, before the collision, they are moving in opposite direction, and after the collision, they are also moving in opposite direction. And second equation, before the collision, they are moving in a same direction. After the collision, they are moving in opposite direction. So this kind of negative sign, so whatever we are using here, when they are moving in opposite direction, we will not mention that. We will not mention that if we take only speeds. If we take speeds. So in that case, when you do some mathematical calculation, the initial momentum and final momentum may not be equal. Okay. So it will not be valid if you take the definition as mass into speed. Definition as mass into speed, the law of conservation of momentum is not valid. Okay. Is it okay, beta, or any doubt? Please let me know.
No doubt, sir.
Yeah, others also, please.
Doubt, sir.
Okay, fine, good. I repeat, I have already told the law of conservation of momentum is applicable for collision problem. Okay. So collision means what? Just now we have discussed. one mass is there, m1, and another mass will be there, m2. They are moving with initially u1 and u2 velocities, and they may move in same direction and they may move in opposite direction also. So in the opposite direction, the equation changes. In the same direction, the equation changes. So in the same direction, the equation will be m1u1, that is the initial momentum of the first body, plus m2u2, initial momentum of the second body, and the sum of this momentum is the initial momentum of the total system, and we are taking plus. Why? Because u1 and u2 are both in same direction, and after collision also they will move in the same direction only, but with some other velocity v1 and v2. In that case, the equation becomes, the final momentum is m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, so this is the equation becomes when the initial, before the momentum, sorry, before the collision and after the collision, if they are moving in the same direction, this will be the equation. But if they are moving in opposite direction before the collision and after the collision also, if they are moving in opposite direction, this will be the equation. So we are considering the direction in the case of plus and minus. But if you take only speed, speed is not having any direction, so we will not take the formula will always become m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 only. So in that case, initial momentum of the system, final momentum of the system will be varied. Okay, is it okay, Varshit? So mass into speed, if you take, the law LOCM is not applicable. Mass into velocity, if you take, the LOCM is applicable. Okay, yeah, very good. Now you understood. Yeah, the same definition. Use the definition of linear momentum from the previous question. Can we state the principle of conservation of linear momentum for a single particle? So for a single particle, in the case of collision, we cannot say, but for a single particle, mass into speed, until unless no external force is there, then speed will be constant.